The question brought to the text is this: YHWH, do you approve priests of YHWH instead of the 12 captains? The lead verse that stands at the head of this guided draw is verse number 31750. Elohim has not cast away his people that he predestined. What the Father has established in covenant continues. Building upon this foundation, the draw presents a sustained testimony of priestly service and the designation that belongs to it. Verse number 7414 records YHWH speaking to Joshua and commanding the priests who bear the ark of the testimony to come up out of the Jordan. The priests are the designated bearers of the testimony. They're the ones commanded to move forward with the ark in their charge. Verse number 7100 shows the priest taking the basket from the hand and setting it before the altar of YHWH Elohim. The altar receives the presentation. The priest stands as the one who brings the offering into the place of acceptance. Verse number 4556 further details the preparation as the entrails and the legs are ritually washed in water, and Moses burns the whole ram upon the altar. Verse number 4979 directs that the sheaf be waved before YHWH to be accepted for the people. These acts of service cluster around the altar and the priest who serves there. Verse number 5418 records the priestly offering as one silver charger, its weight 130 shekels, one silver bowl of 70 shekels after the shekel of the consecrated place, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering. The provision is exact and the offering is complete. The inheritance carries the same priestly mark. Verse number 16649 instructs that when the land is divided by lot for covenant inheritance, a priestly offering unto YHWH is to be presented, a holy portion of the land with length of 25,000 reeds and width of 10,000. Verse number 12754 names Israel as the covenant inheritance. When YHWH of hosts blesses, saying, "Blessed is Egypt my people, and Assyria the work of my hands, and Israel, my covenant inheritance." Verse number 7690 declares the priestly inheritance of the children of Gad after their families, the cities, and their villages. Verse number 7301 speaks of sacred glory, like the firstborn of bulls with horns like the horns of buffalo, by which the people are pushed together to the ends of the land, 10,000 of Ephraim and thousands from Manasseh. The glory and the push belong to the covenant line. Consecration and refining run through the same thread. Verse number 18793 declares, "I will freely consecrated sacrifice to you." Verse number 17941 testifies that he will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and will consecrate and purify the sons of Levi, and purge them by consecration as gold and silver, so that they may approach YHWH with a priestly offering in covenant faithfulness. The purpose of the refining is approach and faithfulness in the offering. Verse number 21960 affirms that he knows the way that is taken, and when examined the one comes forth as gold. Verse number 3069 records that he blessed them that night, and blessed Levi first and Judah second. This priestly pattern stands in clear distinction from the captains that appear in other contexts. Verse number 25165 identifies the 11th captain for the 11th month as Benaiah, the Pirathonite of the children of Ephraim, with 24,000 in his course. Verse number 10283 tells that Absalom made Amasa captain of the army instead of Joab. These are appointments to lead monthly courses or military forces under the king. They fulfill a function in the order of the people, yet the language of altar bearing holy portion refining for priestly offering and covenant inheritance does not attach to them with the same density or repetition. The draw does not converge upon the captain's structure as the primary designation for the service described. Warnings sound where covenant is broken. Verse number 12286 records that the altar of consecration at Bethel and the worship place made by Jeroboam, who caused Israel to commit covenant violation, were broken down, burnt, and stamped small to powder. Structures tied to violation do not endure. Verse number 16,857 notes that they like men have transgressed the covenant pledge and dealt treacherously. Verse number 2, 3, 6, 1, 5 confesses, we have violated covenant, we have done wickedly. The true service remains the one the Father commands and consecrates. Authority flows through the name that is given. Verse number 29,302 states, I am come in my Father's name, and you receive me, not if another will come in his own name him you will receive. Verse number 28430 declares, he that hears you hears me, and he that despises you despises me, and he that despises me despises him that sent me. Verse number 19,863 records, YHWH said to my Lord, you sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. The authority is established under the name. Verse number 2087 speaks of a light that never ends and the light of uprightness established for the ages before YHWH spirits. The light and the uprightness stand before him for the ages. The covenant itself is remembered across generations. Verse number 19,697 states, he has remembered his covenant for the ages, the word that he commanded to 1,000 generations. Verse number 12,294 shows the king commanding all the people to observe the Passover to YHWH Elohim, as it is written in the scroll of this covenant pledge. Verse number 17781 declares that the fast will be to the house of Judah for joy and gladness and cheerful sacred seasons, and therefore to love covenant truth and peace. The covenant holds and calls for faithfulness. The mathematical measures under the Shield Protocol confirm the strength of this textual pattern. The deterministic test 3 reaches 902.8% net relevance increase at 5.85 sigma above the genre adjusted baseline. This marks a discovery-level convergence of identity, inheritance, and priesthood. The pattern-based inquiry stands at positive 1.551, leaning yes with directional clarity that favors covenantal favor. The guided draw inquiry shows extreme anomaly with Fisher chi-squared of 93.05 and a probability value of 4.48 times 10 to the minus 10. The convergence confirmation index reaches 88% threshold, crossed with 6 of 6 channels active. All gates pass under the classification of strong anomaly. The probability of yes equals 98.2%. The probability of no equals 1.7%. The probability of unresolved equals 0.1%. These statistical markers do not stand apart from the text. They arise from the same verses that speak of priestly offering the holy portion and the standing of the predestined people who are not cast away. The departure from random is extreme because the pattern itself is extreme in its coherence and repetition. The answer that the text and the full protocol return is therefore lean yes, probably affirmative. The designation priests of YHWH aligns with the service. The Father has commanded the ark that the priests bear the altar where the offering is set, the holy portion of covenant inheritance that is required, and the refining that prepares for approach in covenant faithfulness. The standing of the predestined people remains. They are not cast away. The captain structure exists within the corpus as military and monthly leadership, yet it does not share the same convergence with the altar, the consecration, the inheritance, and the priestly offering. The guidance is affirmative for the priestly designation that the draw affirms at 5.85 sigma. The Father directs his people to walk in the identity he has secured and the service he has set apart for them. The verses drawn in this Shield 17.9 session were number 31750, Romans 11 verse 2. Number 7414, Joshua 4 verses 15 to 16. Number 12754, Isaiah 19 verse 25. Number 7100, Deuteronomy 26 verse 4. Number 7986, Judges 1 verse 15. Number 742, Genesis 26 verse 23. This concludes today's interpretation under the Shield Protocol.